In this video, I'll share with you a simple way to break down a landscape into 3 separate layers of foliage and how to paint those using watercolor. Now in this picture, there are 3 very obvious layers. The first one here is in the foreground. The second layer here is a middle ground section, and then the third is a background section. And to help us simplify the types of techniques we would use to apply to these different layers that we might see in a landscape, I've come up with a few names. So let's assume that these are all different types of foliage. So we have the first one, which is foreground foliage. The second one is what I call forest foliage. And the third is what I call far away foliage. And each of these types of foliage are going to receive a different type of technique when we're painting with watercolor, because it allows us to achieve a certain look that's going to either bring it to the foreground or set it far back. The idea behind the foreground is that the foreground is going to have first the darkest colors, which you can see here in this photograph, and second the most clearest details. So you can see the most clarity in the details, the lines are the hardest, you have the most hard edges is the way I like to describe it when I'm painting with watercolor. The second layer is the forest layer, and I call this the forest layer because if you look at a forest, a bunch of trees together, which essentially is this section in the middle ground, what you see is not every individual tree. You see a mass of trees, and so when we paint it, we are going to treat it as a mass of trees. You can also see that the color is not quite as deep or dark, and the details are softer. And in this picture, it really helps me make my point only because there's a bunch of fog here, so it's softening the trees. But when we are painting with watercolor, that's the idea here as well. We're going to soften those details, not make them quite as crisp, and it will help this layer move behind the foreground layer. Now the last layer of trees we have are the faraway trees, and that's pretty self-explanatory. These are the furthest away, and in this photograph there aren't really many trees. It's quite obvious that it's actually a mountaintop, but the same thing works whether or not it's a mountain or a group of trees. But let's pretend like this mountaintop was covered in trees and it wasn't wintertime, and we'd have another layer of foliage. That's the faraway foliage. Now this layer, whether or not it's foliage or a mountaintop or just something in the distance, gets a treatment with watercolor that is going to allow those details to be completely blurry. So that's really using something called wet on wet effect. You might already know it, but if we do that, those details will be very blurry, almost imperceptible. It's just movement, its texture, its softness, and the colors are the most washed out. They're the most faint. This reference photo is such a wonderful visual example of those 3 different types of techniques and the 3 different approaches that I would take when painting a landscape, depending on where that foliage is and how much attention I want to call towards it. Now here's a quick overview of the 3 different watercolor techniques I would use for these 3 different levels of foliage. First, we have the faraway foliage. Faraway foliage is beautifully represented using wet on wet technique. This is where you drop wet paint onto wet paper, and the key here is to keep everything light and fuzzy. It pushes things to the back, which is where that foliage is. It's far away. Next, we have the forest foliage. Forest foliage is beautifully represented also with wet on wet. It keeps things fuzzy and undefined, yet still has more definition than the faraway foliage. Here, I would use a thicker concentration of paint to get a darker color, and I would wait until the background wash of the paper is not so wet and not dry. So it's somewhere in the middle, and you can get still a soft look, but it doesn't bleed quite as much. You can also start to get details and make marks with your brush that can suggest a lot of different parts of trees without actually painting every single tree. Lastly, we have the foreground foliage. Foreground foliage has the hardest edges, and so painting this wet on dry is a great way to introduce this look of foliage, especially if it's layered in front of the other 2 layers. This is where you're going to have smaller marks, add more details, more fine lines, and that's going to really bring that layer forward and show that those are the closest elements to you because you can see them the clearest. Now, these 3 techniques aren't the only techniques you can use to represent this kind of foliage, but I find that simplifying this, especially if you are a beginner, is a great way to start. If you're struggling to get the hang of these foliage techniques, download my free guide, where I break down each step in detail with full video instructions and tips to make these techniques easier. Check out the link in the description box below. And if you did give this a try, I'd love to know how it went. Let me know in the comments below.